Hey everyone, in this video I want to show you how we can use Google Maps and Google Earth within the classroom to take that kind of mapping skills and learning about different locations and make it a little bit more real to students. So the first tool that we're going to look at is called Google My Maps. So what Google My Maps is just basically creating a map and dropping pins in different locations so that you can point out these different locations. One great feature about Google My Maps is that these maps are shareable so that students can collaborate and work on this together at the same time. So you might have students working on, like this one, battles of the Civil War. And I just started this one by putting a few of the early battles in here. So, for example, we have the Battle of Fort Sumter, and by clicking on that, it takes me to that location, and I'm able to zoom in more if I want to get a closer look. But I've added some information right here, the name of the battle, the date of the battle, the location, and then a brief description as well. And so I can go through all of these and see that. Notice that I've also added some images here. And we can go through all these, see that, and we can zoom back out and kind of get the overview right here. So you might have students working on a project like this where obviously I didn't put in too much information there. To expand this, if you want students to really go in depth, you might have them create additional resources. So maybe they're finding links to other things or finding videos that they can add as well, or they're making other creations. Maybe they put those things in a Google slide deck. You're able to add links into your descriptions as well so that students can make kind of like a bigger resource rather than just a summary. But it's a great way for students to work together and then synthesize their notes and put it into a summary so that they could share it with others. So this was an example just for a war, but you might think of different ways that you might use this. Maybe you're teaching with science and you want students to map out some different ecosystems and find locations for that and geographical features and really pinpoint those things. It might be that you're doing some cultural information. Maybe you're studying a specific country and you want to have students map out different points of interest on there and things that are important for that culture. It might be that you're doing things, maybe you're collaborating with other schools around the country and you want to plot data for the different schools that you visited and give a summary as well. So a variety of ways that you can use that. The next one that we're going to look at is called Google Tour Builder. And right now I'm just using a couple examples. These examples come from Eric Kurtz at controlaltachieve.com. So you can go there to see some more of his examples. This one is art for an art class following the life of Kandinsky. So obviously a famous artist right here, but this one you can tell right here. Google Tour Builder is built more for telling a story and kind of going through a sequence of events. You have the options of adding timelines in there, dates, beginning and end dates, but it does follow a sequence right here. So right here, we're in the introduction. With this one, you cannot collaborate, so it does have to be an individual one, so students can't work on this at the same time, but you could find other ways that they might work on gathering the resources and then creating one tour right here. But with this, you can add pictures as well as YouTube videos. You have the option of giving a title, a brief overview as well. This one you can hyperlink text so you can add in different resources. I'll go through right here, go see, it'll zoom in on this place. You can go to the next location, the next location, and the next location. One of the great things about Google Tour Builder is that we're actually working with Google Earth instead of maps. So I can zoom in on this location and get kind of that Earth view that we're looking at. So we see that now we're actually looking at buildings and streets right here. And the other cool thing about this is that I also have my street view guy right here. So I can also drag him and drop him on any of these blue lines right here. So let's say I drop him right here. And now I'm using Google Street View to help me kind of get in and see what this area is like. So I could see, okay, there's this big school right here, this university, and I can continue moving along and taking a tour of this university as well. And then I can go to the next place. So this one gives you a bit more rich features of being able to drop in that street view and really immerse yourself in the location. There's another example right here from Eric Kurtz where he's doing this more as just mapping out the book Small as an Elephant. So this is called a lit trip. So with a lit trip, you take a piece of literature and you go on a trip with it. So you follow where the character went and add in some different resources and summarize what happened in those areas. So there's another one. He has Eric Kurtz has great resources for using these in all different grade levels and different subjects. So I'll link to some of his resources as well. Last one that I want to show you is called Google Tour Creator, and I'm using one of the templates that Google has created for this just to kind of give you an overview here. So this one is called the Holy Places of Jerusalem. One of the great things about using Google Tour Creator is that you're creating virtual tours. So right here, we have this nice 360-degree image right here, an overview of Jerusalem, and we can kind of see some different things right here. But also within this, there are different points of interest that the creator wants to highlight. So by going and clicking on these points of interest, I'll get a title and a summary right here. I can go to the Jaffa Gate, get a summary, and the modern city as well. One of the great things with this is that they added the ability to add narration so that you can add a recording as well. So you can record yourself reading this or any additional information that you want. So let's turn
the bustling urban area just outside the old city walls is filled with modern offerings.
So we can have students also tell a story with that. And we can go to a variety of scenes right here. So each scene is created of a 360-degree photo. And then you have the opportunity to add different information focal points on here. We can go to another scene and see all of these different things here. So this gives students the opportunity to create a lot of these pictures right here, just they can be taken straight out of Google Street View, or students, they have the opportunity to create their own 360-degree photos. They can do that within an app. The Google Street View app, they're able to make 360-degree photos. Also, with a 360-degree camera, they'd be able to take these as well. So, I mean, there are a variety of ways that you can consider using this. I think this is going to be a big play here in the future. You may have been kind of used to these with if you've ever done a Google Expedition on your phone. These are very similar, and Google is coming up with the ability to allow people to create these expeditions and then load them in the map or in the Expeditions app so that you'd be able to lead your students on a tour like this. Another great thing about this, you could think of like giving tours of places, whether it's like giving tours of the campus. If students were to go around and take these different 360-degree photos and then add these different focal points of interest, describing the different buildings and things like that, maybe when they were built, we'd be able to give like a great tour of the campus. I also think this is going to be huge, like for real estate and different things like that. You can imagine sometimes, like if you're buying a house or whatever, sometimes it's hard to see what the house looks like when you're just looking at two-dimensional pictures. But by giving like three-dimensional 360-degree photos right here. It gives you a better view of that. So I think that this is going to be something we'll see a lot of people using, especially in the job market as well. You could think of students just taking these 360-degree images and creating stories like this, so that we're actually immersing ourselves in the story of what the author wants us to see. So some great things right there, some great ideas. Very simple to make. I'll give you some resources on how you can get started with that if you're interested, and I'll attach some blog posts as well, and that will give you some more ideas on how you might use them in your class.